Good evening and many thanks for joining us. This is KTV News coming to you live from our studios on Caraba Avenue. Here are the main news headlines. President Barrow presided over the swearing-in of a new Supreme Court judge, the President of the Court of Appeal and a Commissioner of the Independent Electoral Commission on Wednesday at the State House. The Food Safety and Quality Authority has ordered the immediate closure of the Brikama Fish Market and all nearby food shops over poor hygienic conditions. The Gambia German Advisory Center for Jobs, Training and Reintegration, in partnership with the Ministry of Trade and other partners, over the weekend wrapped up a two-day job fair at the Gambia College in the West Coast region. The Islamic Cultural Center for Women and Children and the Mohammed Yadaliu English and Arabic School on Sunday used the commemoration of their 25th anniversary to reflect on their achievements in promoting Islam. And in international news, the Global Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction has ended in Bali, Indonesia, after 5 days of discussions, challenges, and exploration of funding opportunities. Well, for more on these and other stories coming up, I am Ansmane Sonyase. And we now take a look at the news in detail. President Barrow presided over the swearing-in of a new Supreme Court judge, President of the Court of Appeal and Commissioner of the Independent Electoral Commission on Wednesday at the State House in Banjul. As Alusisi reports, the appointments followed the recommendations of the Judicial Service Commission and the Independent Electoral Commission.
The appointees are Justice Umar Momodu Musa Njai as Supreme Court Judge, Nasir Salawada as President of the Gambia Court of Appeal, and Hadisida Job George as Commissioner of the Independent Electoral Commission. They all took the prescribed oath of office, allegiance and secrecy administered by Secretary of Cabinet Ibrahim Asise. Supreme Court Justice Umar Momodu Musa Njai thanked President Barrow for once again accepting the recommendation of the Judicial Service Commission for their elevation and subsequent appointment. He said it amply demonstrates the President's commitment to an independent judiciary as he calls for more investment in the judicial sector to increase timely access to justice and the rule of law for the benefit of the people. Justice Njai pledged on behalf of his fellow sworn-in officials their readiness to live by the oath taken.
An increased investment in the judiciary will without question improve access to justice and by extension nurture the prevalence of the rule of law, which would be to the immense benefit of the people of this country, not to mention in particular domestic and foreign investors.
Justice Hassan B. Jallo, Chief Justice of the Gambia, said the new appointees bring vast experience having served in the judiciary and will add value to the work of the judicial sector. He said the latest elevations are part of efforts to fill the vacant positions in the judiciary to ensure effective and timely justice delivery.
In the next few months, we are looking forward to more appointments at the level of the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal. We are currently in the process of designing and implementing a training program for the preparation of suitable candidates to take up positions in the High Court bench as well. And with that program, we expect to be able to strengthen significantly the resources, the human resources of the High Court bench.
For President Barrow, the elevation of Justice Umar Njai now raises the number to 6 Gambian Supreme Court justices appointed by his government since 2017. Proudly also for him, the Gambia now has a female Gambian as President of the Court of Appeal in the passing of Nasir Salawada.
My government is aware of the key role the judiciary plays in the quest for a stable and progressive nation wherein we uphold the rule of law and all are equal before the law. This is critical for the achievement of our goal to promote access to justice, economic prosperity, increase foreign direct investments, and environment of peace and harmony.
He reminded the newly sworn officials of their role in boosting public trust in both the judicial institutions and electoral commission, noting that their work can strengthen the country's growing democracy considerably and guarantee peace and stability. The president used the occasion to thank two former Supreme Court justices, Justice Raymond Sok and Justice Jibril Samega-Jane, who retired last year, for serving the judiciary with distinction. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
Now, the Food Safety and Quality Authority has ordered the immediate closure of the Brikama Fish Market and all nearby food shops over poor hygienic conditions. According to FSQA officials, the prohibition of the sale of food in that portion at the Brikama Market is due to the high presence of contaminants which could possibly infect food sold in that vicinity. Omar Pijalo has the rest of that story.
The authority told the market committee that the decree followed an inspection conducted at the market after public complaints over poor hygienic condition. Speaking to QTV after issuing the order of immediate closure, Mahmoudou Ba, the FSQS Director General, said the inspection generally saw gross violation of food safety laws, adding that the FSQA is the sole authority mandated to officially do this and as such cannot allow the market to continue operating under such conditions.
And this is also where people buy food, people sell food, and the food that is being sold here under these horrible conditions are not fit for consumption by anyone. And as a result, the Food Safety and Quality Authority, with our mandate, we have to make sure that we at least enforce what is to the best interest of the country and for the consumers, so that at least we try and make sure that people are not buying food that is detrimental to their health, that will give them diseases, and that will give their children and grandchildren serious diseases.
DG Ba emphasized that there is zero tolerance for negligent practices that put consumers' health at risk, and the FSQA and food inspectors will use the full powers available to them under the law if a food business is found to be in breach.
When we're doing immediate closure, we don't give you notice, because some certain closures you avoid resistance, stiff resistance, and of course Brikama, we all know, is a volatile town, and as a result we had to come and in fact we allowed them to do their selling the whole of the morning, so that we came late in the afternoon when they would have sold their whatever, and people who will buy will also have bought, and then we could come and effect this closure.
Officials of the market, through the chairman of the market committee for the Manjang, expressed concerns over the impact on vendors of the closure. We have no problem with the closure, but the manner and timing are wrong. They should have given us notice. As we speak, vendors have over 400,000 worth of fish stock preserved for sale tomorrow. Now that we are asked to close immediately, we are going to lose all that. We are appealing to the authorities to please allow us to sell our stock tomorrow. This problem is caused by the Ministry of Fisheries, who are the custodian of the fish market, collecting $15 from each vendor every day, but not helping us maintain the facility. We have engaged them several times, but to no avail. Mr. Ba has this advice for vendors.
They have to sort out that drainage issue and also the cold storage. You could see the hygienic condition of the cold storage. Some of the fish is not even preserved. They are just kept without ice, and as you know, the temperatures are 30-something at this time, and the humidity is also very high. So as a result, spoilage of food is very rife.
The Food Safety and Quality Authority of the Gambia, FSQA, became operational in 2013. It is the sole national competent authority delegated to officially control the safety and quality of food and animal feed, whether locally produced, imported or destined for export. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
The Gambia German Advisory Center for Jobs, Training and Reintegration, in partnership with the Ministry of Trade and other partners, over the weekend wrapped up a two-day job fair, the first of its kind for youths at the Gambia College in the West Coast region. Loliam Kamara tells us more.
The two-day event at the Brikama campus brought together youths from the different parts of the country seeking employment opportunities, career guidance services, business development services, and training opportunities on offer were 60 fully funded training scholarships and a chance to secure one of the 200 TVET mini grants, amongst other things on offer. Basiru Seka, the principal labor economist at the Trade Ministry, gave a brief background of the National Employment Policy 2022-2026. He says the policy proposes various strategies to address unemployment challenges and improve the standard of living for all Gambians, particularly as demographic trends are putting huge pressures on the labor market.
The critical role that employment can and must play in ensuring growth and poverty reduction is increasingly being recognized. Employment promotion or job creation has become an important objective in the National Development Plan 2018-2022. Strategic Priority 8 of the NDP is to leverage the Gambia in making the private sector and trade the engine of growth, transformation, and job creation.
Maimunatu Junisa Kamara, the Director of Human Resources at Ozone Bay and Sun Beach Hotel and Resort, representing both hotels as an employer, thanked the organizers of the job fair and for coming up with such important life-changing initiative. She encouraged the employers to do this at least every 6 months.
Yesterday it was a huge turnout. It was so overwhelmed. We spent like 2 hours trying to sensitize, taking details, receiving CVs and application. There are so much desperations with employees who are graduated and yet to secure employment. So I want to encourage employers to see how we can be attending such programs. As this youth, we can get them to gain gainful employment within the society.
Awambai, who was there to try her luck in securing a job, told us how important this is to her.
This job fair is very important for the youth and the country because it is encouraging more job opportunities to the young ones, and also it is also giving skills to youths not to be going out there risking their lives for irregular jobs or risking their lives in this journey of traveling to Bagway.
William Mendy, a staff member of the Senegambia Beach Hotel, said the job fair will give opportunity to those youth who have skills but don't know where and how to start.
People are here with who may know that they are with skills. They are graduates, and then yesterday they couldn't have jobs. And then this trade fair will be, importance to those people who may know that they're not having jobs, so that they can at least know that in the Gambia here we can still make it up in the Gambia here.
The National Employment Policy 2022-2026 provides guidance and gives effect to government's commitment to coordinate actions to reduce unemployment, underemployment and employment creation, poverty reduction and support broad-based economic development. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
And that report there by Lolly M. Kamara will lead us to the commercial break, but when we return, we have more local and international news stories.
Fire, 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 fire. Dang don halat pour am yere bu nice boy sol pour aljuma bi mbaate yenen hewi. Kon ñu ne leen Kara Creation benn lañ ci réew mi ñëw nañ pour rek safaral seen jafe-jafe ci wàllum sol. Kon Kara Creation wax leen noo ko bëggee rek ñu ñëwal la ko ci noo ko bëggee. Kon ñu ne la Kara Creation am nañ bépp façon piece boo bëgga te it am nañ ay xaftaan yu ñëw ba pare. Pour rek ngeen mëna kontaan kon ñu ne leen Kara Creation seeti leen foofu sa Serekunda ñu ngi jàkkaarloo ak Black Market bi bala police station bi mën nga leen a call si 5189189 5189189 Kara Creation, we provide quality.
To make sure your company's products and services reach your potential customers, it is essential that you choose the right channel for your marketing purposes. QTV has the widest reach locally and beyond, and we can give your business the visibility it needs. Call QTV Marketing on +220 324 4444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm and take your business to the world.
Welcome back from the commercial break. We reminded you following QTV News, and we're broadcasting live from our studios on Caraba Avenue. Now, the Islamic Cultural Center for Women and Children and the Mohammed Yadaliu English and Arabic School on Sunday used the commemoration of their 25th anniversary to reflect on their achievements in promoting Islam. More in this report by Babukar Sise.
The ICCWC was established by Haja Maimuna Yadaliu Savage, an Islamic scholar, to promote Islam and the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad. Celebrating 25 years of excellence is a great achievement for those who are determined and persevere by overcoming all hurdles. This program was graced by dignitaries from the Muslim Ummah, including from the Gambia, Senegal, and other parts of the world. Haja Maimuna Yadaliu Savage, the Executive Director, ICCWC and MYEAS, began her speech by thanking Almighty Allah for witnessing the event and her late parents who encouraged and supported her at the beginning of her career, and her family for their continuous support. She gave a brief explanation of the school.
The Muhammad Yadaliu English and Arabic School was established in 1997 with only 10 students, 2 teachers, and 1 office staff. But today, alhamdulillah, we have 18 classes and 45 members of staff, which includes both English and Arabic teachers, guards, cleaners, nannies, etc. The able headmistress of the school must be commended for her hard work.
Al-Haji Imam Usman Jah, the board chairman of the center, who chaired the event, commended Haja Maimuna Yadaliu Savage for her dedication to the promotion of Islam, citing the challenges she overcame, leading to her success. Representing the president of the Supreme Islamic Council, Sheikh Ibrahim Jaju assured Haja Maimuna Yadaliu Savage of the Supreme Islamic Council's continuous support to help her achieve more successes in her endeavor in the propagation of Islam. Imam Mustafa Jallo, the State House Imam, with his delegation headed by Dembo Baifos Bojang, on behalf of President Barrow, says the President has recognized the fervent work of Haja Maimuna Yadaliu Savage in Islam and promoting peace in the Gambia. Aja Fatou Bintou Diop, presenter of Watan, a popular religious TV program at TFM Senegal, spoke about various topics, including Prophet Muhammad's night journey to receive the 5 daily prayers from Allah, the significance of good character in Islam, and the means by which one can receive salvation in the life to come, being generous to the poor in society, the importance of forgiveness and not using media platforms to tarnish people's image, and fighting for positions, especially the politicians vying for government positions. Certificates of appreciation were awarded to Aja Bintou Fatou Diop and Imam Malik Sow from Senegal, and Imam Al-Haji Usman Jah and Sheikh Ibrahim Hassan Jallo for their tremendous efforts in supporting the Islamic Cultural Center for Women and Children and the Mohammed Yadaliu English and Arabic School over the years.
Wallahu basirun bima ta'malun. Sadaqallahul Azim.
Babukar Sise, QTV News.
Now, Josephine Jiba, a 25-year-old woman, needs urgent overseas treatment, having been diagnosed with rheumatic heart disease since 2018, according to her medical report. Loliam Kamara visited her in Lamen Daranka, and this is her report.
Rheumatic heart disease is heart valve damage due to rheumatic fever and causes inflammation throughout the body, including the heart. If untreated, the inflammation can lead to permanent heart valve damage and serious health problems. According to the medical report received from the Medical Research Council, Josephine Jiba was diagnosed in April 2018 as having grade 3 pedal edema, a palpable liver and pansystolic murmur. She gets recurrent edemas and cough. Pedal edema causes an abdominal accumulation of fluid in the ankles, feet, and lower legs, causing swelling of the feet and ankles. 3 years ago, doctors recommended that Josephine get valve replacement surgery and that she should go for overseas treatment, as such surgery is not available in the Gambia. Josephine Jiba completed high school in 2015 and was working as a salesperson before she fell sick. She explained how it all started and what she needs now.
Fever baby 2018.
It was in 2018 when I visited the hospital because I was feeling unwell. It was at MRC I was told that I have a heart disease. I felt bad upon hearing the news but accepted it. Since then, I have been going for treatment monthly. Now the doctor said my medication will help reduce the pain but cannot cure me. My family is doing everything to support me through this difficult time, but we are not strong financially, so I am soliciting financial support from anyone to enable me to go for the treatment outside the country, as recommended by the doctor. Mary Jata, Josephine's mother, says they have been to several hospitals to get her daughter treated, but it was not getting better. It was only when they went to MRC that they get to know what was wrong with her. She added that the family had already spent a lot of money on Josephine's monthly medical appointments.
I
am seeking support for the sake of God. She is my first daughter, and I am not currently working. My husband is the only one supporting us, so we are soliciting support. Bonua Jata, Josephine's pastor, told us how Josephine was determined to make it in life and how active she was at the church before her illness.
Josephine used to be determined. I'm sure she's still determined, but she used to be determined when she was okay, and she had her own dreams of going higher in life, but all came to a halt when she discovered that she was not feeling fine.
Anyone wishing to help Josephine Jiba, please contact QTV by email at news@qtv.gm or call 3333-245. For QTV News, Lolly M. Camara.
Well, we pray that she gets support to be able to undergo successful treatment. And now on to some international news in a moment. So after 5 days of discussions, challenges, and bilateral meetings to explore funding opportunities and the implementation of the Sendai framework for disaster risk reduction, the Global Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction has ended in Bali, Indonesia. More in this report by QTV's Jennifer Sonko.
Described as the most consequential global platform ever held by the head of the United Nations Disaster Risk Reduction, Mami Mizotori, the platform has concluded. Countries now have a task to work on risk to resilience towards a sustainable development for all in a COVID-19 transformed world. With that said, how has Gambia gone about implementing the Sendai framework for disaster risk reduction? Here is the Deputy Executive Director of the Gambia National Disaster Management Agency, Sering Modiju.
Gambia had gone far when compared to some other African countries as far as deliverables are concerned in relation to the Sendai framework for disaster risk reduction. This, which is actually a key milestone, which we have underscored, and I'm sure come to the last report of this, final report of this particular session, people would actually show how far Gambia have gone.
Can education be the solution to ensure resilience? Education seeks to solve societal challenges, and disasters have been a major factor in the socio-economic development of countries and can stunt their growth. Incorporating disaster risk reduction in education is a systematic approach to including the analysis of disaster risks and risk reduction measures. Professor Muhammad Amoka, the former Vice President of the University of the Gambia and current Ambassador to the United Nations in Geneva, further delved into the need.
Education is very important in changing mindsets. What we need to mitigate disaster for preventive and for intervention is to ensure that our people are equipped with the tools to be able to take care of themselves.
What happens at the aftermath of a disaster? Risk financing is needed. Risk financing provides funds to cover the financial effect of an unexpected losses experienced by the state.
As the custodian of the national funds, we also do allocate finances to disaster management agency in terms of disaster risk reduction.
The mayor of Banjul, Rheumatic, moderated an event on the sidelines of the closing events of the global platform on leaving no one behind. She explains the need for inclusivity.
We have to include everybody, disabilities, children, women, everybody should be included if we want to fulfill the SADAI framework.
To sum it all up, what is the take-home message from the 7th Global Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction? Here's Ibrahim Asane, Deputy Permanent Secretary at the Office of the President.
This conference provided us the perfect opportunity because, as already been alluded to, this country, Indonesia, provide the best examples how disasters unfold and how do they mitigate. Indonesia have suffered so long, so coming here for Gambia will give us the important information and data to be able to take back home and prepare more.
Now, at the end of the global platform, several recommendations were put together to achieve the 2030 agenda. Disaster risk reduction must be integrated at the core of development and finance policies, legislation and plans. The global platform called for transformation of risk governance mechanisms to ensure that management of risks is a shared responsibility across sectors, systems, scales and borders. Convened at midpoint between COP26 and COP27, the global platform observed that current emission levels far exceed their mitigation, resulting in an increase in frequency and intensity of catastrophic events, threatening the achievement of the 2030 agenda. People are affected differently by disasters. This calls for a participatory and human rights-based approach to include all under a principle of nothing about us without us in disaster risk reduction planning and implementation. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jada Vasonko.
And I'm afraid this is where we draw the curtains on this bulletin, but do join us at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. Until then, on behalf of the production team, thanks for watching.